Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome to this Etheria restart video. So we are back with maxed out or close to maxed out Eternal Night Yeli right here. So Yeli has been performing pretty well across all the different game modes in terms of the PvP side as well as the PvE side, and being a constant carry makes her pretty good on the offense because of the potential neutral element against most of the bosses, and this makes her pretty flexible in terms of usage. So we will be showcasing her as well as discussing about her build right here, and we will do a more in-depth review with all the different coverage, showcase across different game modes, and discuss whether or not you should commit your resources into her. So Yeli right here is a pretty resource heavy unit because her main source of damage is actually her second skill, Fluttering Flora right here. So Fluttering Flora allows her to actually have a 100% chance to additionally cast Arrow Spark, which is the normal attack, one time on the main target after landing a crit hit. So this is easy because you just need about 60 to 70% crit rate onto Yeli, and with her ultimate right here, Nightfire, being able to purify all debuffs from self and gain a crit up, which increases crit rate by 30%, and also dealing 3 hits of 120% AoE damage with a chance to inflict a 2 turns defense down. So very versatile character, having damage, self buff, self removal of debuff, as well as a debuff onto the enemy to increase your team's damage. So there are some RNG factors with this skill right here, but if this skill actually triggers multiple times within one round onto one single target, her damage output is actually quite off the roof. So that's the important part. You need both skills sort of maxed out because having that 100% initial follow-up basically makes sure that she shoots the arrow 2 times when she gets a crit. So subsequent follow-up will be dependent on RNG, but having this skill leveled up gives you more crit as well onto the skill tree right here, and having the ultimate leveled up obviously gives you more damage and also more speed, which is useful for PvP. So for the very last tree, I chose to level up all the rings all the way to this one. So we're not going to go to level 5 because level 5 increases the buff steal to 30%. So this is the normal attack, massive single target damage with the ability to steal a buff. So you can actually steal the immunity buff from all the Inferno Bosses and then have your units debuff the bosses subsequently. But in most cases, Yeli doesn't actually build too much of an effect accuracy. So it would be fortunate if you have effect accuracy stats so that she has an increased chance of stealing. But in most cases, you'll be bumping up her crit rate so that she procs the second skill, and you will be bumping up her damage such that her damage output with the likes of her skill as well as Revelation right here is maximized. So the best shell for her is none other than Revelation. As for the best stats, I think it should be Swift Rate if you want to go for PvP with a little bit more speed. If not, then the other one right here, Fury Age right here, is probably better for overall damage because it gives her the additional crit rate as well as crit damage for the tertiary stats right here. As for the secondary stats, Revelation being the best, I'll say, like shell for her because of a high crit rate as well as the ability that Revelation offers right here, means that I think anything that increases her potential crit or attack or even crit rate should be the better matrix combination for her. So I'll be talking more about this matrix combination in the next few days, but right here, this is my current best Revelation shell I have with Fury, Keen Eye, and Swift Rate. So these are the different passive effects right here. And for the modules over here, we have the plus 10% attack with the ability to increase damage by 12% when the Animus lands a crit. So I think this is amazing because she's going to crit a lot because of her self buff as well as her high crit rate build up in terms of the gears. And then for the Keen Eye, we have the crit damage, which I think synergizes with like the damage output potential when she crits. So I guess what you can do is increase her crit to around 70% so that when she gets her ultimate crit rate buff, you get 100% crit rate and you will be able to reliably get your maximum damage output on her. So that is my current combination of units. I'll be upgrading her in the next few days after I get the better modules. So that's for my Yeli, and without further ado, let's showcase her prowess in a few of the Inferno dungeon runs. Let's go. Okay, so the very first one is my Yeli against Sharon right here. So against Sharon, you can't do damage over time. You can obviously run Deting if you have sufficient build up with Deting against Sharon right here. But Yeli has another added benefit for her, and that is her ability to remove all debuffs. So in the event if you are unable to prevent the DOT from the boss from landing on your carries, Any other carry will actually melt to the damage over time, but Yeli with her Nightfire right here will dispel the damage over time and increase her own survival right here. So that combined with her massive damage potential as well as the potential follow-up attack makes her a really good carry for Sharon or any boss or any units with a lot of debuffs onto her. So without further ado, let's run through this battle. So we're doing our auto. So this has been my auto farming team for Sharon. So I'm farming Sharon for the Supernova Shell such that I can actually auto farm Aurora, which also runs Yeli as the auto carry right here. Okay, so this is her proccing her second skill for 4 times, so that is normal attack times 4. So if you get really lucky, the most procs I've ever seen was like a 6-7 time proc onto the repeated attack itself. So there are some RNG there to min-max your damage, but that is for the single target side of things. Okay, pretty fast stuff as well once you have her maxed out. Okay, bam, bam. Okay, so that's 2 hits only. Kind of unfortunate there. We have Kachi for the immunity protection, additional defensive protection. We have Lily for the buffs itself, with Vel to protect the whole team, to give us the consistency in autoing right here. So you can see that she procs her crit pretty often, even though my Yeli's only at like 60+% crit rate, because she has the self crit buff. So that's one thing that has, you know, like pretty good self build, because she's able to get the additional crit to sort of get 100% crit rate right here, as you guys can see. Okay, so we stole the buff, so that gave us the buff that the Sharon was holding, and we were able to finish this run in 1 minute 8 seconds. So it's not enough for the 3-star clear yet, and I believe if I'm able to actually max roll her shells itself, we should be able to do this run faster. But with Yeli as the carry with sufficient team support, you should be able to auto through this Sharon Inferno pretty easily. So that's for the first showcase. Okay, so next one, Inferno Terramaton. One of the strengths that Yeli has going for her against this boss is her ability to steal the immunity from the boss. So let's take out our Shadow Sana and put in Yeli right here. So Yeli does a lot of damage, has neutral affinity against this boss, and has the ability to steal immunity, right? So to sort of amplify her potential damage, we have Hendrix right here with the ability to debuff and increase the crit damage, because our Yeli actually crits a lot. So the skill to actually strip the immunity to apply the last burst as well as the block is very helpful when combined with Yeli right here. So this is my auto team for Inferno Terramaton. So with our usual suspects for the buffs, Lily, Kachi as well as Valerian, let's showcase our Yeli performance. So you can obviously use Holden in the place of Hendrix, but Hendrix actually amplifies the damage of Yeli much more because of the last words ability. Okay, boom. Okay, attack. Okay, we did manage to steal there, but quite a fair bit of damage. So Kachi buffs up the whole team. Okay, quite a bit of damage there, but did manage to bring down our Hendrix enough defensive stats to survive. So right here, we strip down onto the immunity. So this will allow other units to potentially debuff the boss. Okay, damn. So the year right here is able to cast the ultimate one more time and potentially debuff the boss on the defense right here, as you guys can see. So this amplifies her damage output. Okay, and Kachi the guard is able to go in to slow down the boss to give you more survival. And then Hendrix will be able to continuously build the last word stack for even more damage onto Yeli right here. So this is my auto team for this boss right here, as you guys can see. So Yeli, multiple times, and there's a whole bunch of damage right here, as you guys can see. Okay, final attack. I think the next attack should do the job. Normal attack, one more time. Okay, nice. 1 minute and 13 seconds on auto, so that's the auto farm team with Yeli right here. Okay, so let's give Yeli a try. Let's hope our Lily actually outspeed the opponent's speed control unit, so we can showcase our Yeli right here. Okay, we are faster. Yeah, it's a little bit slow, so we'll buff up Kazuha right here. Control all of them to put them all to sleep. Opponent's Yeli's last, so I think we can just attack it to wake it up. Okay. Time to showcase our Yeli. Let's go. Boom. Okay, massive AoE damage there. GG. So yeah, that's pretty much it with regards to the Maxed Out Yeli showcase. I think this unit is pretty versatile in terms of her damage output, in terms of her carry role in the different game modes, and also really flexible because it's a debuffer, damage dealer, as well as a self buffer at the same time with debuff removal. So it should be pretty flexible across all the different Inferno bosses, and also in terms of the RTA usage as well. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys.